on YouTube. Welcome to Sibz, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where my sister and I, Sydney and I, break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Tonight, we had the finale of The Flash Season 7. And I am so
happy.
Before we get started, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss. If you've read the title, you already know kind of that I'm feeling pretty strongly about it. But let's dive in. So this episode is the grand finale. First, I want to give kudos to the show for having an epic and awesome fight scene at the end, bringing in even Thawne. I think it's one of the first team ups we've seen fighting a villain of this scale. At least in the comics. Godspeed. Action packed. It totally went Star Wars, right?
Oh yeah, with the swords.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Definitely.
I enjoyed it, but it was very Star Warsy.
Yeah, it was. I'm also welcome everybody. Hit us up in the chat too. We'll be chatting it up with you guys down there as well. Just with your comments and stuff. We'll show some of the best comments here on the screen. Finally, you guys don't understand. This show was straight garbage all season long. Like I said from the beginning, guys, and people are like, oh, you're hating on the show. Oh, love. Oh, talk to your enemies. Like, it's a superhero show. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You know how I feel about that. They know exactly what the Flash fans want. And Sydney, you said as much because they threw everything that we wanted in the last episode.
Yeah, they really did. And I think the whole Barry and Iris thing at the end was just like an embarrassing plead for the fans to stick around. Like, everyone knows, everyone loves Barry and Iris. Like, they're great, right? But for them to renew their vows, they've only been married for like a year, maybe 2 years in the TV show world. Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're, like, it was in poor taste. It was like, we know you love this, so we're going to give it to you to keep you.
Exactly. You know, they're just pulling on the tropes that they're used to. Also, I mean, there's so much to go over with this episode, but ultimately what happens is Godspeed ends up getting destroyed or basically knocked out because they didn't even really kill him. Thawne teams up with Reverse Flash teams up with Barry, and they have their lightsaber duel, and Reverse Flash just stabs him with the Force Saber, or Speed Force Saber, I guess we would call it. And that is after Jay Garrick and even Iris got, her speed powers all boosted by what they call Big Nora versus Little Nora, Barry and Iris's daughter. Yeah, because Little Nora is Barry and Iris's daughter. Didn't you hear that?
No, because I missed the beginning of the first episode.
Wow.
I mean,
unacceptable. Yeah, the first episode, it was in this episode too. Anyway, so they all had their powers, but they all got sidelined eventually. Nora found out that Big Nora found out that all the other Godspeed clones were feeding off of her powers, so she couldn't be there because it was strengthening the Godforce clones, the Godspeed clones, and weakening Team Flash. Like, there's just so many things. Okay, so let's talk about Cisco.
Cisco. Okay, so we know Cisco left, right? For no real reason. He just left because, it was time. And he leaves. He comes back at the end in like the last 5 minutes of last week's episode. And then they clearly just keep him around because he's a fan favorite. Everybody loves Cisco. Now, I will say this. There have been a lot of rumors going around that we're just going to say the character's name because it's like too much work to get into all the actors' names. But Barry, Iris, Cisco, Wells, mostly those four are trying to leave the show. Now, we know that Wells left. We know that Cisco left, but he seems to be coming back infrequently. Now, Grant Gustin is signed for season 8 and season 10, I think. Season 8 and 9, I think. His contract just got renewed. And so did Iris's. But you can tell, even with Iris being gone for the last like 3 or 4 weeks, like, it to me seems like Candace Patton and Grant Gustin are on their way out.
They're done. And you know what? They don't want to be there, and neither do we. I'm just being honest. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
This show is not good anymore. It's not good. And
the problem with... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say you can tell they're trying to like do a recasting um with Bart and little Nora.
Nora. Yeah.
Especially because they have Bart sing and like, that's like Barry's thing. Like he
Yep.
sings to Iris, and it's like nobody ever asked for that. But like
Yeah.
whatever, we understand that that's part of it. But like all of a sudden
Yeah.
now they're trying to get Bart to do it, and it's just like,
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Listen, I know there are a lot of fans of this show, but at this point, it's beyond all reason. Like literally, we talked about in the beginning how Wells's death, all of them, are pointless now because they never mean anything, and they just bring him back. Usually, if they get rid of him in the beginning of a season, he'll be back by the end. But in this season, like 2 episodes later, he was back, and they're doing the same thing with Cisco now. Like, are you kidding me? You got rid of him, and not only did you get rid of him, but he got rid of his powers only to bring them back anyway. Like, why get rid of your powers, your actual powers, and then choose to science them again to make them work again when you could have just kept your powers and not used them? They keep doing the same thing over and over and over again because they're like, "Ooh, that was a hit. Fans like that. Let's just do it 50 million times," because the fans are maybe so dumb that they won't realize they've seen it before. We've seen all of this before, but with a different villain. We've seen Godspeed. We've seen Cisco come and go. We've seen Killer Frost come and go for a hot second in jail. We've seen Wells come and go. Like, this is dumb. Like, I don't
it was dumb, and I don't know, like, because I missed the beginning of this episode, but did they ever explain what Iris's problem was or why she was gone for like most of the episode? I mean, they kept saying that like, something's wrong with her, they can't stabilize her, she keeps going in and out of time, and I'm assuming they're saying that she's pregnant with one of them, but like, did they ever resolve that? Did they ever like hear her?
You know what? I was so caught up in the Barney-ness of this episode at some point. I'll have to look at my show notes if they ever explain that.
What do you think of Bart, though?
No, none of them. I'm sorry, I don't really like any of them. Is that bad? I mean, I think Allegra's pretty cool. Chester is okay. Certainly, both of them are better than Nora and Bart, in my opinion. Nora is okay, I guess, but none of these characters would I have wanted over the OG cast. And I understand they're trying to get rid of them and move some new people in, but then get rid of the show because honestly, nobody's here for that. Like, nobody is going to watch the show for Nora, Bart, and those guys. The show's just not as good. So many times, because I was watching with our parents, and so many times they're like, "Wait, is this like a Disney musical? Like, is this Barney?" So many times, like in their costumes, they're like, "Whoa, what just happened?" Ugh. It's like, I'm like, Arrow never would have done this. The Arrowverse was so edgy and serious, and even the Flash. I understand it's a more lighthearted character. I understand that. But even the beginning seasons of The Flash were darker in tone. What is
It's not even that. It's like they were just more realistic. Like, I feel like, and especially with Nora and Bart coming in, it's so campy. Like, between Nora, Bart, and Chester, like,
perfect words.
It's unrealistically, like, hyper excited about everything and quirky and always making funny jokes and it's like, all right. Like, we love the tone of the original show. Like, it was lighter than Arrow, but it wasn't unrealistic, Like,
exactly. And they had real stakes and real death, and like death meant something.
I was rewatching some scenes from season 1 and season 2. Like, this show used to be so freaking good.
Yep.
Oh, it just hurts.
It used to be a must watch.
Yeah. And then like with Bart, like, I get it. Like, Bart's character is annoying. But in the comic books, Bart has always been like hyper energy, very
impulse,
annoying. But like in this, he's more so. I don't know. It's because I don't not like him. I think he was he looks exactly like Grant Gustin and Candace Patton's child once again.
Yeah. That was a good cast.
Yeah, but like, I just wonder if his temperament is a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, and we got to give new characters some time to grow.
So why would their kids be like that?
Yeah, we got to give them time to grow. Impulse is a character that it may not be so much on the actor as it is on the character. He may not translate too well to screen because of that nature. It's just a little over the top. Whereas they might be able to get away with it in the
Look at Young Justice. That impulse was perfect. Who was
yeah,
that?
but it's cartoon.
That was
It translates much different.
yeah.
It's a lot different on camera, because faces don't have to emote as much in cartoons. Because of the nature of the medium.
Yeah.
Human faces, like we're staring at them, we know human faces so well because we look at them all the time. And if you're constantly like this, it starts to look, it's wrong. Like it doesn't look right. It doesn't look realistic. And but again, like I think I attribute that to his character, not necessarily the actor. But just the whole show, the entire show from beginning to end, going with this random "let's love everyone to death" theme for a superhero show is trash.
Yeah.
It's nonsense, guys. Superman and Lois, which is on right now. I'm gonna catch up because I got it recording. I'll just fast forward to commercials and stuff, and I'll catch up because I'm gonna go live for Superman and Lois tonight as well after the show. So much better of a show right now. I would even put Supergirl season 6, the final season, and they've been on a break for a minute. Better show than this. Stargirl season 2 is coming out August 10th. Season 1 of that, better than this. This is the last superhero show. And don't get me wrong, guys. For those of you like who really like that end action sequence, yes, that was great. That was exciting to watch. Even though it got very Star Wars, it was cool. And they brought some characters in, and it was cool. The double swords and all that. That was cool. But you do not give that to us as the only thing pretty much the entire season at the end, okay, and act like fans are going to come around for next time. I'll tell you what, depending on how this episode does, and, we'll gather the numbers for the whole season, we may not be covering the final, season 8 of the Flash. I'm sorry. I love CW. I love all the Arrowverse shows. We've always been big fans. We haven't always covered all of them. But the Flash was one of the main ones. We're like, oh yeah, we got to do the Flash.
Yeah.
And now it's the trash.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
it's ridiculous.
But this was
a great show.
It was a great show, but I really am. The show sucked before, but this by far has been the worst season of the show, and so I'm gonna blame that on COVID and hope the season 8 is better.
Please, no.
All right.
This is not COVID. This is beloved. Okay.
What do you think we're going to look forward to in season 8? Because I think everyone thought we were going to be at least pregnant at the end of season 7. So what are you looking
forward to? But what is this? The Bachelorette? Like, what is this?
Oh, don't forget my coverage is coming up tonight.
Is Iris pregnant this week? Go find out. Like, this is a superhero show.
Yeah, but that's fun because
you cover Gossip
kids
Girl.
Have superpowers.
No, that's not fun. Okay,
I think that's fun.
No, that's
as
story.
A girl,
no, because you're a superhero fan. As story building and background and characters, I fully understand. Superheroes need to have real story, real characters, real stake. Otherwise, it's just punch smack, and you can't do too much of that without anything to ground it. But that is not what we look forward to every week. Are you kidding? Every season is a pregnancy.
No,
we don't look forward to that. We look forward to who the new villain is going to be. Are we going to get new costumes? Is Barry going to die? All these different things. And they did all that in seasons past, and it was incredible. The problem was they stopped imagining, they stopped innovating, and they just threw the same tropes at the fans week after week after week after week. This season of The Flash, what I look forward to next season is hopefully it being the last season. I'm sorry.
I think I'm going to say this now. I do think next season is going to be the last season of The Flash as we know it. I think some of our main actors are going to dip.
There's a reason for that.
The main actors who are already leaving. But my thing is, why not just let it end well? We did the same thing with The Walking Dead, and we try to continue the show after our favorite characters leave.
By the way, did you see the new trailer for Walking Dead?
No.
Yeah, it's the final season trilogy. That's what they're calling it. The Walking Dead, the final season trilogy. They called it the beginning of the end. And they showed all the characters. They even credited gosh, I was about to say Norman Reedus. Andrew Lincoln in it. So that show is going to be, I trust that show still. I used to trust The Flash. After season 5, I was like, okay, this is bad, because when we saw this same thing happen with the Arrow, they rebounded. They understood. They said, let's get back to basics. Let's go back to what the fans want. Let's bring in Slade. Let's bring in new storylines. Let's do, different stuff, right? The Flash just for some reason refuses. And it's not COVID. It's not COVID. Because a ton of shows had to go through the same thing and they still came through with great stories. You do not write crappy stories because there's a pandemic. A couple of people on the phone can write a good story. I understand for acting and all those other things, but people used to write good stories with much less in the past.
You're not wrong. I'm hopeful that I think next season could be the last season, and so I'm hoping we at least get a good one, man. I want a good bad guy. I want lots of heart. I want crying. I want, good, like actually making sense Barry and Iris scenes. I'm excited about the babies. I just want it to be a good round.
Oh, please. The baby. Story. Why? It's Bart and Nora.
It's going to be a little
and you
speedy.
Can't stand them as adults.
Yeah, but no. Just her being pregnant, I think is exciting. With the speedy children and all.
That's a non thing.
Listen.
Anyway, I'm not.
I want the show to get it together. If this is going to be the last season, then it needs to be good. And I'm saying in everything, in action, in storyline. I need some heart. Somebody's got to die. Like, we love the Flash because he's gone through so much bad stuff and still is a good.
Yeah, now he is so much bad stuff. I'm sorry, it's trash. I'm sorry, I have no empathy for it. We gave them episode after episode. I know. And I was hoping this season would be good, and it wasn't. But with that being said, I'm not going to waste any more time on this show. Check out the new Funko Pop Godzilla Godzilla, man. That's pretty dope. Anyway, thanks, guys, so much for watching. I'm going to go watch a fantastic show. One of the best superhero shows ever made. Superman and Lois. Fantastic. Great show. What, Sydney, you haven't even seen it?
I'm just saying, you got Smallville and some other really good.
I said one of the best superhero shows ever made.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I can argue.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I'll be going live probably around 10:15 because I got to fast forward commercials for Superman and Lois. So don't miss. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell. We got a lot of shows coming in August. Sydney's covering The Bachelorette as well as Gossip Girl. Loki just ended, so check out our video on that. August 6th, Suicide Squad. Snake Eyes. I'll be doing a Snake Eyes and Old by M. Night Shyamalan this weekend. Then we got Stargirl August 10th. Then we've got Season 2. It's going to be a jam-packed couple of months. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Click the bell as my sister and I, Sydney and Chris, cover your favorite movies and TV shows. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!
Is it?
No.